I mean, literally like 5 minutes ago, I just finished watching the season finale of Wandavision. It's 11 in the morning, it's the first thing I did. I've only had a cup of tea and I'm just... Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Codename Big Bear, or Stuart if you want to call me by my first name. Welcome to the Bear's Den. Now, today I'm going to be talking about whether I think WandaVision was actually any good. I'm not going to be talking about games. I know that's kind of what I'm supposed to do on Bear's Den, or at least that's kind of what I've been doing in Bear's Den for the last year or so. And it's just... this one just kind of really... I don't really have anything to talk about games-wise, you know. And when it comes to games and the Avengers... let's face it, the last Avengers game I played, I wasn't happy with, and I don't have a PS4 right now, or even a PS5, to play Spider-Man, so I can't really talk about that either. Also, where's Spider-Man in the Avengers game? Why isn't that out yet? Sure, it's supposed to be out right now, isn't it? Like, isn't it? Isn't it? Anyway, so WandaVision. As I said right at the cold open, I've literally just finished watching the season finale on Friday morning. Excuse me. On Friday morning, and... yeah, I'm annoyed, kind of, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure whether I actually enjoyed this show. I genuinely have no idea if I actually enjoyed this show. I think I did. I want to say I did. I'm so tired. Just want to go back to bed. There's some really, really cool stuff going on in this show, like the whole aspect ratio thing where it kind of goes 4:3 and 16:9 and widescreen and all this kind of thing to tell you whether you're inside the show that Wanda is producing or you're out in the real world. There's some really cool stuff going on there. The way they filmed it as well, from the beginning episode where it was just 1950s sitcom, plus they go straight into that, which is very jarring. You're watching it straight away, it's like, I don't know, it's a bit odd. Should I stick with it? And you just kind of carry on, and they go to the 60s when it goes to colour. People will be more interested once it goes to colour because, well, let's face it, people these days they don't watch black and white things. Which is rubbish, because black and white films, some of them are flipping amazing. You have this whole technical side of WandaVision is stupidly impressive. I love that. Being someone who's studied films, being someone who's made films, I genuinely loved all of that. What was going on there? Little bits, little nuances here and there. I was like, yes, that was cool. This was cool. Blah blah blah. The story essentially is. By the way, there are going to be huge spoilers from this point onwards. If you are watching this and you haven't seen WandaVision, what are you doing? Go back and watch WandaVision. Come back and then tell me what you think and talk to me about it. But if you just don't care, like I said, I'm gonna spoil this really heavily, and I'm gonna talk about my disappointments, the things I liked, and all that kind of thing as well. So the story of WandaVision, basically, the whole general thing is Wanda has somehow got herself trapped inside this hex, and a TV show is being kind of aired out on the radio frequencies, and it's kind of showing her life, and they're producing sitcoms, and that's what you are watching. So 1950s sitcom at first, 1960s, 70s, 80s, all the way through to the modern day. And we're watching this week by week as well. And all the characters that are involved in the sitcom are people that live in this town of Westview. And Wanda has just kind of made up lives for them. Because that's what she wants. She wants the classics of Wanda is living with her husband Vision. Eventually they have kids, so they kind of have the sitcom situation there. But you have the nosy neighbour of Agnes, and you have kind of just the general neighbour that's always just kind of around. It's like howdy neighbour, that kind of thing. And the husband goes off to work, but we don't know what he does for work at all. It's just kind of sitcom tropes all the way through. Again, even until you get to the modern day, when it has the whole interview and look into the camera thing. It's obviously not the main. That's not the main story. It is the main story, but it's not the main reason, main drive for this. The whole drive for this entire show is the fact that Wanda has lost Vision. And the Vision that you see is essentially a figment of Wanda's imagination, born from the Mind Stone that is still within her, that gave her powers, and it's all the memories she has of Vision and everything else as well. So again, huge spoilers. But there is an aspect of this entire show that has mystery about it, and that kind of has built up. And I was intrigued to see what happened next. Every episode, I was like, okay, fine, I'm intrigued. I want to see what's going on here. And I don't know. The last few episodes have kind of disappointed me, purely because of fan reactions, fan theories. Paul Bettany, you son of a... Oh, my God. Oh, Paul Bettany. Oh, he just drove me mad today. Yeah, so I've been intrigued to find out what happens in each of these. I've also been intrigued just to see what they do. Again, like being a person who studies films, I'm intrigued to see what they do. And how they go into it, how they approach each sitcom, and how they light it, and how they make it look with the grain, the general video grain. And it was really cool that way. But story-wise, I was kind of like, meh. But one thing this show definitely did is make me care about Wanda in general. I mean, I don't know about you guys, alright? In the films, I did not care at all for Scarlet Witch, and even Quicksilver. He was rubbish anyway, and whatever. But I just didn't really care. I thought she was just kind of one note. She was always just kind of sad. And, that's fine. That's absolutely fine to have a character like that. But I didn't care about it. She wasn't very exciting. Her accent really threw me off. But they mentioned this quite a lot in the show, which was quite fun. I enjoyed that. But this show made me care about her a bit more. I had more of an understanding of what she was kind of going through, her grief, and why she's kind of doing this kind of thing. And, I'm excited to see now. I'm very excited to see Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness. I was already excited to see that because Sam Raimi is directing a superhero film, and Sam Raimi directing superhero films is so good. And it's basically going to be PG-13 horror, which I enjoy those. They're good fun, man. And you're going to have some of those quick cuts and those quick montages, and it's going to feel like Spider-Man, or Sam Raimi's just so good. Sorry, got distracted. So I ended up actually caring about this character a bit more, which is really weird, because I've spoken to a few other people that have said the opposite. They really liked her in the films, but in the series they didn't care. And I think that's because of the format and the way the show kind of goes along. It's almost everybody I know that's watched this has kind of gone down the route, at least people that I know, people I've spoken about, it's like 5 different people that I actually spoke to in person. And they were just kind of like, I don't know if I enjoyed it. I just want to see what's happening next. And that was it. And yes, to see what's happening next is great, but will I watch this again? Probably not. I need to. Yeah, I'll watch all the MCU films. I might start to watch this and then kind of get bored and just skip ahead to, Multiverse of Madness. But that's the thing. This is doing its trick, and people are going, oh, is there going to be a Series 2? You don't need a Series 2. There really doesn't need to be one. Why would you do a Series 2 when you can just go into films now? Scarlet Witch can have her own films. It's a very rambly video. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, will I watch this again? Probably not. Do I think it was good? It's definitely worth watching. Let's put it that way. If you've watched the MCU, you need to watch this, really. And it says it leads directly into the next film, the Multiverse of Madness. And after watching the finale, it kind of doesn't. I mean, I won't know until I see that film to know whether that is the case or not. So over the last few weeks, there's been rumours about a cameo. A new cameo, a Marvelverse cameo that can be very excited for, and all this kind of thing. And it's just kind of, it wasn't anyone who anyone expected. Paul Bettany. This guy, he trolled us all, guys. He trolled us all. Every one of us. He was like, I wanted to work with this person my entire life. It was him. He was the cameo. Oh, Paul Bettany. You sod, you. It was him. The cameo was another Vision. He wanted to work with himself. He's never done clone work before, so he got to do it, and he was excited about it. That's the only thing I can take from it. Just what a sod! Like, oh, I mean, it could have been Mr. Fantastic, it could have been Blue Marvel, it could have been all sorts of people, and it was just White Vision. I mean, not just White Vision. That's kind of cool. I mean, there's going to be a whole like story arc there where he's recovering his memories and figuring himself out. That's very cool. But it was him. But this show could have really done some really cool stuff and really played to the fans and kind of added new characters and had more fun with it. You know, White Vision could have been, could have had Ultron's voice, could have David Spader. And it could have been Ultron returning, which would have been very, very cool. But that didn't happen because it was Paul Bettany and it was just Vision just doing his thing. There was a Vision fight, by the way. Yes, I enjoyed that. That was good fun. But that brings me to the bad guy of the show. So throughout this entire series, there's kind of a mystery of who it is, and people are working out who it is. And if you know the comics, and if you know Wanda's backstory, and if you read into it, then you'll be able to figure it out pretty easily. But if you went in completely blank, and you know, I've never read WandaVision comics, I've never read Marvel comics, I've just watched the films, you might not have been able to figure out so much. Right, who's this bad guy? Who is this? You could probably work it out a little bit, put two and two together. But it was Agnes. Agnes became Agatha Harkness, and she was the witch. She was the she was the witch that tried to, you know, well, she was the witch that basically tried to take away Wanda's powers. But the thing is, I don't think, even after this show, even after the finale where they have a full-on fight and all this, I still don't think she was a bad guy. I just don't. So she finds out, she turns up after Wanda has produced WandaVision, and she kind of goes, oh, okay, there's something going on there. Woo, I'm gonna zip my way over to there where all this magic's going on. I'm gonna try and take some magic from you. And she kind of turns out, all the way through the show, she's kind of like picking at Wanda, kind of influencing her a little bit, kind of getting her to do things that, you know, work out what she can do. At one point, one of the kids goes, oh, you can bring the dog back to life. And then she's like, oh, you can do that? And obviously she wants to see if she can. She wants to know if she can. Then she goes into her memories in this whole episode where it's all Wanda's memories, and she figures out that she's the Scarlet Witch. And she's got the kids chosen. Yeah, basically, Agnes is doing this, or Agatha is doing that to imaginary children, essentially. And she's like, you're the Scarlet Witch, you're flipping dangerous, you do not need to do this. And then she's like, pow, screw it, I'm gonna well, actually no, because the first thing that happens is she antagonizes Wanda, and Wanda zaps her, and she goes, right, I've taken some of that power, that's mine now. That's kind of my deal. And then they have a fight throughout the entire episode, essentially, and she's kind of like, you know, Wanda, blah blah blah, you need to stop doing this, you're doing all of this, and, you know, you are the Scarlet Witch, you need to be stopped, this is chaos magic. Basically, she's trying to stop the end of the world happening, because that's what the Scarlet Witch is supposed to bring. At least that's what she's been told. That's been told from the Darkhold, which is the magic book that you see as well. Which, you know, it's all very cool. But even at the end, when she is sapping all of the power from Wanda, and I believe if Wanda didn't, you know, pay attention to something that happened earlier, you know, she would have done that. She would have taken all those powers, and she would have, you know, she said to Wanda, you know, I can fix everything that's happened here. You're still going to be broken, but I can make everything work a little bit. And she kind of went back on it slightly, but she's like, screw it. Let's do this for you. You can't undo this spell. And then she's like, I can help you. Like, you know, what are you doing? I can still help you. I still think she genuinely wants to help Wanda. I still think she didn't necessarily want to kill her. She didn't want to destroy her. She didn't really want to suck away all of, well, she wanted to suck away all the powers, probably, because that's the kind of character she is. But I just don't think that I think she's going to be an asset in films as, but later on. I really, really do. If the Marvel waste this character, that's going to be, it would just make more sense if she was helping Wanda in the film or later on at some point. Rather than just being trapped as she is. I don't think she was a bad guy. I really don't. I think she was more of an anti-hero than anything else, which is what she was in the comics. So, there's that. Also, another thing that really annoyed me about this program is about 4 episodes in. 4 episodes in, we get a kind of like side story going on. We find out what was going on outside of the Hex. We find out who's been watching Wanda and who's kind of dealing with stuff. And we get the FBI agent from Ant-Man turns up. And he's all like, yo, we're looking for this guy that's in Westview. And he's gone. We don't know where he's gone. They never, ever go back to it. They just forgot about it. Who was the FBI looking for? Like, why was he so important? So important that he got hold of S.W.O.R.D. Who? Who was it? Like, they forgot to tell you who that was? That was annoying. They just, like, it was like after, like, 2 episodes after that, they just dropped that entire story. Which I kind of understand, because Wanda was the more important thing. But he was important enough for you to get hold of S.W.O.R.D. Who was it? Who? Who was it? Like the... Oh, just... Oh! Also, it was really disappointing as well. Like... So, all the rumours and stuff that was coming out, yeah, there was... Apart from that, there was... Who is Agatha working for? Other rumours as well, like Agatha might have been under the spell or influence of somebody else, like Mephisto. And I personally, I thought it'd be really cool, considering this is supposed to lead into Doctor Strange 2, to have Baron Mordo be the kind of influencer. Now, hear me out a second. So, Baron Mordo, right at the end of Doctor Strange, was all like, no more sorcerers. And he ran off. And Infinity War is set like a year or so afterwards. And I reckon Mordo got dusted. For sure got dusted. Because 5 years later, they all come back, everyone comes back in Endgame, and there are tons of sorcerers around. There's still loads of them about. So Mordo didn't really get a chance to do anything that he wanted to do, and this show is set 3 weeks after Endgame. So after Thanos has been here and done his thing. And it's just, why wouldn't it have been Mordo? It would have been really cool if that was the case, if he kind of found Agatha and was like, yo, there's something going on over here, I know all about this, maybe you should go and have a look, maybe you should suck away her powers and, you know, do something. That would have been cool, because he uses another sorcerer or another witch to get rid of other sorcerers and witch by making this one really powerful, and then he can kind of stab her or something, I don't know, just do some kind of sorcery things. But the fact there wasn't another big bad. I was just kind of genuinely disappointed that Agatha was the big bad of the show, even though I don't think that she was the big bad. I do genuinely think that it was a very self-contained thing, and it was really annoying. Was it good? Was it good? Yeah. Wandavision is good. It's worth a watch. 100% worth a watch. Was it interesting? Hell yeah, it was interesting. Was it... It was also pretty rubbish. And the reason it was rubbish is because of all the fan speculation. If I didn't look into that stuff, if I didn't check out for Easter eggs, and I didn't kind of start forming these thoughts into my head and working out, oh, who could do this and who could do what, and I ruined it for myself, essentially. If you go in blank, you might really enjoy it, but you have to stick with it. You must stick with it past the black and white episodes, because it starts to make sense. You must stick with it. It's episode 4, it really starts to kind of, okay, now I get the narratives together, that kind of thing. If you just kind of watch the first one and thought, this is rubbish, not bothering, that's, why would you do that? But, you know, it's good, but, do you know what, it's okay. It's an okay show. It's worth a watch. I hyped myself up to it too much, and I think that's really made a disappointment factor to it. Yeah, it's just okay. It's not bad at all, actually. There's some really cool stuff going on with it. Like, technical side of things, each and every episode starts off the same kind of length those sitcoms would have been. I don't think anyone's really noticed this. They may have done, I don't know. But the first episode is like 25 minutes long. That was cool. This was roughly the same length of an episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show. Next one is about 30 minutes long, and they kind of increase slightly as they go. So it was 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes to give you the show, plus the little bits on the side. And then it was like a 35-minute show because it wasn't in WandaVision, so it gave us like a modern kind of modern-ish look at it. And then it was like a half-hour show again with little bits on the side. So each of the actual sitcom portions of the show were all the same length as you would actually get on television, which was very, very cool. And then once you got to the 2000s, things started to become like 45 minutes long, which is modern television. So technically, that was very, very cool. I really enjoyed that. And then finally, there is something after the credits. Not just in between. There's an in-between credits, and then there's an after credits. So, you know, stick around for that, I guess. I've rambled for... I've been recording for 23 minutes. You're not getting a 23-minute video, obviously. I ran for a long, long time. So, in general, yeah. It's worth watching. It's okay. If you're watching it, don't overhype yourself. Don't kind of go in and looking over things. The finale was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Don't expect any kind of mysteries, because, well, you've watched this video, you know the mysteries aren't there. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you sticking around. We have tons of videos on video games throughout our YouTube channel, so, you know, find us on there. We have a website as well, Twitters, Facebook, all that kind of thing. Just find us, all the links below. Guys, have a great day. Don't forget to be nice to each other.